What up, my freaks? RuinousInsight here with part 4 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Gorbad Ironclaw Old World campaign. So as we saw last time, we are now at the tail end of puttering around the Badlands as we have effectively destroyed Gelt and Mr. Teclis both, though a fantastic fight as Teclis caught us out in a march stance led to Gorbad Ironclaw's army just barely pulling through, which is always lovely to see. We are on the approach to Oeragor, and we're going to hope that we can reach it before the bog creepers can. That's going to take us 2 turns by the looks of it, but, well, we gotta get there to get our trophy. And if they take it, well, I'm not so sure what we're gonna do, because we'll have to betray them, won't we? And we just allied and stuff. But anyway, we'll see. Otherwise, we have defeated an army or 2 belonging to the Barrow Legion and are looking to start on the South Confederacy Southern Realms faction, as we have pieced out for 10 turns with the Barrow Legion for now. I am sure that they will return, as in we will have to fight them again, but, well, for now, let's hope that we'll be okay. Let's see what we gotta do this turn, shall we? And we are looking at, pretty much everybody's moved. I guess I could have ended the turn between the episodes, but at the same time, there's a few other things that we may want to do. First of all, I did say that I wanted a couple, at least, of giants in the Goblin army, and because they do provide that bolstered leadership. Immunity to psychology is super valuable on Goblins, even ignoring the other aspects of the Giants' usefulness, and just power that army up a bit. Especially since this particular Goblin army is not going to have any Goblin archers, it is going to be Goblin melee, plus Snotling pump wagons, plus Goblin artillery, with of course the 2 Goblin bolt throwers replaced by a couple of Doom Divers, as the shield breaker would be useless in an army that doesn't do any range damage. So, that's that, at least for this army. Anyway, let's see, we got a little bit of money remaining. I was looking to build a couple more of the pump wagons, though, oh, there was another thing I was looking to do. Some of the orc boys here should be upgraded to boar boys. It's not super expensive to upgrade them, at least the basic variant. Yeah, you know what, I think we can do that. And, oh, wait, actually, these Orc Error Boys would also be a fine option for that particular aspect. Yeah, you know what, we'll do this. You 2 will be upgraded to Boar Boys, because we don't need Error Boys here. Like so. Then, we're going to... Muncha Edbut, who are you again? You're the Cunningest, eh? Alrighty, you're going to trade to Gorbad. These 2, and you're gonna take from Gorbad, I guess the Squig herds. These were going to the Squig army anyway, and the Squig army will be started up by Mr... Actually, I don't remember who is starting on the Squig army. Actually, I guess the question is, will we actually have one of these lords lead the Squig army in the first place, or will it be another one of the lords? I guess we'll see about that as well. Anyway, we could also maybe get a few plans going to get at least 2 more units of tactical boys in here. We have been wanting that. Frankly, we could actually use 2 more boar boys in here to maybe take the place of the pump wagons, which would have other uses elsewhere as well. Can we afford that, I guess is the question. Although, right now, maybe we want to forgo completely reducing our melee line, and maybe there is an argument to be made for saving some of the Orc Boys to transfer to the Orc Boys army as well. Certainly a thought. Oh, and we'll need to make space for the Black Orc Big Boss. Well, not this Black Orc Big Boss, because he's going to go to the one of the Orc Boys armies. Alright, how many capacity? Okay, we need... we're at 4 out of 3. Okay, so we would need to activate 3 more plans in order to get what we want. 3 plans. Can we actually do that? Assuming that Gorbad can activate 1, he cannot activate any. Okay, anybody else? Can anybody else activate any plans? You can activate nothing. You guys don't have any units, so you can't activate anything. Yeah, I know that we're activating 3 this turn. Yeah, ain't no dice. Or no dice there. Alright, fine. Let's just stay as we are, then we'll forego the Boar Boy upgrade for now, though we're a little bit more infantry heavy than I'd like here. As in non-missile infantry, as in non-hybrid infantry. Anyway, we'll skip, and we'll end the turn. Alright, oh, already? Damn, this is much earlier than I expected it to be, but, I never don't, I think it's only 1 campaign where I decided not to do this. The The experience from the final level is just too valuable not to take it, even though the control reductions, all the various debuffs are, you know, pretty bad. But what can you do? Anyway, I hear them, I guess, and we should have now recruited Spider Gob, rather. And, oh, he gave us a little bit of cash, too. Let's give this a read. When men from the Empire first cut their frontiers deeper into the surrounding forest, they unwittingly began the bitter war of the Drakwall that continues to this day. Unbeknownst to them, their deepest forays had encroached dangerously close to the most holy of sites to the forest goblin tribes, the sacred lands known as the Black Pit or the Valley of Many Eyes. To stray near that dark and web-strewn place is certain death, for the forest goblins will stop at nothing to destroy any interlopers who dare approach it. Alright, so Snagla's on field now. And immediately starts with a couple of items. So he's got stock, fang spike ability, 20 melee damage reflection imbuement, as well as he can assassinate and stuff. Good for him. Sting of Snagla also gives him some magic missiles. Now, I assume that he's going to buff the heck out of spiders. We just recruited a bunch. We could have actually used the recruitment and stuff for them, but whatever. Oh, he's got Death Creeper. Minus 40% for Spider and Spider Rider units. Fantastic. Well, it's going to be a bit until we have a true Spider army, but for now he can sort of help out the half Spider, half Forest Goblin army, which is going to be functioning pretty differently than the all Spider army. Until he's ready, or until... Ooh. He also gives us Opportunistic Murderer, Devastating Flanker. Damn, that's going to be some powerful spiders. Anyway, until we can get a Mr. Arachnic Spiderclaw on field as well, because that's even more spider action. Melee attack plus 10 and for Spider and Spider Riders. And the Spider army was probably... actually definitely one of the most fun armies I had in my Grimgor campaign, so I can't wait to both re-up them and make them slightly different than they were before. Anyway, Margle, with Witch Doctor, we need that recovery on Mr. Gorbad, so you're gonna head on down here. And Black Orc Big Boss Rend, I do like the name. Should get a Maim in there as well. You are going to proceed to join these guys, hopefully at Toranrock. You... Okay, Wandrena is back, but that's fine. You guys. Alright, Gorbad. You're gonna go as far as you can towards the place. And I assume that we don't need to build anything. Shaman's Hut, yeah, okay, that's fine. And, oh, I do want to double check on any Black Orc Big Bosses. Okay, no change there, and granted, we are at minus 1,200 gold, so we do gotta be careful. Anyway, you proceed. You will go into your raiding and still leech the XP. Whereas you, sir... We do have... yes, we do. You, sir, will deliver those squig herds. And away you go. Oh, I could have put this... wait, no. I could have put the Black Orc Big Boss in your army and had him move with... Yeah, but whatever, too late. Alrighty. The rating's really helpful. Blorg, can you reach Toranrock? You cannot. Okay, so one more turn. Well, the unfortunate aspect of that is I'm willing to bet that Balthasar will leave. Oh, well. And we can't ambush because I think it's not Blorg that we want to get the defeat trait. It is... Wait, I have a question. Oeragor, you're the one that wants the defeat trait. Yes, with those... Because you're going to be using Orc Boys and they're pretty fragile. Well, they have no armor, 35. It's a little bit too low. Here's what you can do. Take out this Crusher da Crusher da Crusher. That's fantastic. Disband, I just want to say something. If we do this... You can reach. Okay, good. Oh. You can still not reinforce then. Oh, no. Do we disband? We can't disband Urwa, though. Can we? He actually has a decent pile of troops, so I guess that didn't really help us here, did it? Oh, well. Yeah, the, some of you have pointed out in the comments the orc WAAAGHs do slow your armies down, and I guess they still do so even at the sort of relatively early stages of the campaign. That Goblin Big Boss, you're here for squigification, and you're gonna stay. We're gonna deliver some squigs, both of these to be evolved into mangler squigs, as, we tie them together and get them mangling. Anyway, let's see, Luggin de Looney. We're probably going to use you as a recruiter lord, but for now, just keep moving this way, together with... Okay, yeah, these guys are fine. Go towards Achaeus, like so. And I suppose this gets us a little bit closer to the place where we will be generating some of those... some of those trolls. I'm wondering whether we should put the Stinky Legbiter into this army, which would help, I will admit. But they already have casters, technically speaking, whereas the Orky army does not, so maybe go this way. Though, at the same time, the Orky army could probably use the Shaman. I'll have to think about that, because trolls are buffed by shamans and not buffed by giant river troll hags. Alrighty. Well, that's fine for now. And Grom, who are you again? Ah, right. You're waiting with the fledgling spider army. You, however, will need forest goblins, which are a fair bit more expensive than the regular goblins, which is a little bit surprising, though I admit lethal toxin, or lethal poison rather, is quite good. Well, good for them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. This is a terrible idea, isn't it? I'm going a little bit overboard on the road to bankruptcy here, but it is what it is. And oh, Heldegrad has reached tier 5. That's fantastic. What we want to do here is immediately start on the Gobbo tents to get that construction reduction, the income from adjacent buildings, and eventually with technology reductions and upkeep for various things. So Gobbo tents. What about the other stuff? So this provides us 1% melee attack faction-wide, and then an upkeep reductions, but otherwise isn't anything crazy faction-wide. Ah, yes, okay, so this Uber Mega Tower, orcs, recruitment cost for all units faction-wide, income from raiding faction-wide, obviously the scrap, but I think all the towers give you scrap. Oh, no, they don't. Huh, go figure. Oh, Shrine to Gork and Mork also gives us control, eh? That's nice. Charge bonus, leadership, when armies faction-wide, yada yada yada. Unit capacity for bone clubbers. I mean, it will admittedly take a while until we get to the final level of this. I don't dislike the bonus control, I admit. Huh. In fact, in theory, we should eventually replace the boss's camp with the Uber Mega Tower. Then I think by then our public order will be fine, and then or Shrine of Gork and Mork, rather. The +5 control should be sufficient. Alright, so we'll earmark that for replacement. We don't need to build any of these structures here because, well, we can get the additional capacity out of the Troll Cave in another place. I do want the Goblin Doom Divers, but I think we can't afford the building right now, so we're going to have to wait. Alright, I think we're just going to start on the Mall Tower. Recruitment cost already faction-wide, rating reduction, or increases. Stuff's good. Alrighty, what about you? Circle of the Sun, we're waiting to upgrade you because we don't know whether you'll fall, and then Hanging Rock, you can still collect income, I guess. And we do still have that a Night Goblin building somewhere, don't we? Yeah, we do. We have it here. Alrighty, though funnily enough, I want to see, where do we get the sneaky, nasty skulkers? That's out of this building, eh? Decent idea to put it here as well. Alright, you know what? Start on this, because we're going to do our first Savage Orc army, a combination of Savage Orcs and Nasty Skulkers, because the Nasty Skulkers aren't going in this Gob army, and there is a tactic that gives them, essentially, I think it's something savagery, essentially equivalent physical resistance to Savage Orcs when they're combined with Savage Orcs, which is a nice, neat, interesting combination. Anyway, I think that's about it, so let's end the turn. Let's proceed fighting. Alright, tactic removed from Blorg. I don't remember which one that is, but I guess we'll find out shortly. And oh, Gelty, you decided to not be a coward. I'm gonna say I'm impressed. Good job. Oeragor, you're the one that wants a defeat trait. For those, oh, wait, no, you're not. Ooh, I almost screwed that up. You already have the armor bonus. So it's basically a choice between Azdrag, and the Gobbos, admittedly, will already have super low armor, though that would help the Squigs as well. Blorg will probably be one of our armies that uses Biggins in fairly decent numbers. That's a hard decision. And the Squigs, okay, wait, I want to see what the armor is looking like on base Squigs and base, oh my lord, we're losing 1.5k per turn. Gotta be careful. I just want more armies on field, man. So the Colossal Squigs have 60 armor, which is decent, but sort of medium. The Squig Hoppers actually have fairly low armor, 40 and 35, whereas the Biggins have 75 base, eh? I'm almost tempted to say it might be more valuable on the Squig, or for the Squigs than it would be on the, And then it would be on the orcs. Here's the problem. Technically speaking, Azdrag Onefinger will have some squigs, but his army will be by and large a goblin-centric army. And the Night Goblin's army is so low, generally speaking, that again, I feel like it's not worth getting Metal Storm on them. Unless something gives them... Yeah, and no upgrades give them additional armor. Orcs do get Ardlads so that they can stack armor a little bit. So probably not worth it for a half-squig army. I would like to see... Power grab? Yeah, that's kind of terrible. I would like to see if there's a new Night Goblin War Boss. Then we got another De Cleverest. Oh well. The creepiest. Wait, what are you again? You're buffing... Yes, you're buffing the regular forest gobs. Oh, and we're gonna need more forest gobs, as well as a bunch of other stuff. Anyway, well, if we can afford you. You can't fight the... Well, you can't fight Dwarf Warriors with what you currently have, I will readily admit. Alrighty, I think we're gonna give it to Blorg, then. Metal Storm, I mean. And we can get those Orc Biggins heavily armored without having to rely on Black Orcs for that particular purpose. So you're gonna go here, and we're gonna attack. We will... Actually, I just thought of something. You have the scariest, and you do have the boys, but admittedly, Mr. Oeragor with the craziest. Oh, he only has 1 point in the boys. Is that maybe not worth as much as Berserk? I cause him to go into rampage. You know, just fine. We'll just fight like this. You guys go here. You go here. Everybody leech, although technically I guess you guys can't leech, but you can at least reinforce. Anyway, you will want to apply some of those points. Now the question is, oh, actually we can't apply the points because I am still not sure what exactly is going to go into your army other than Biggins, eh? Alright, so I guess we're gonna keep holding on to those points until you rank 12. Alright, that works for me. Let's do it. Balthasar Gelt, this is your last fight, so make it a good one. And I think... Oh, is it the minor settlement? No. Alright, go. Or is it? That doesn't matter, go. Alrighty, here we go. One last fight for Blorg. Well, not one last fight for Blorg. One last fight for Gelt, and one last acquisition of his defeat trade. And it does look like Blorg's pretty darn happy about it. Anyway, looks like we got a bit of time until our reinforcements arrive on the battlefield. About 1 minute and 30 seconds. So we're going to max speed it and then start putting everybody into position. We've fought Gelt in somewhat similar circumstances before, where we used our reinforcing WAAAGH to vastly overrun, outnumber, etc. his army, and we're gonna do the same thing here. Again, it's the way that orcs should feel, and those Imperials should be terrified of the massive orc horde before them. Also now thinking about the river troll hags, and maybe we actually want the recovery trait on the gobos rather than the orc war bosses, because recovery has more value when you're in an Ragnarok and thus have a lot more HP. Certainly something to think about, but anyway, hopefully I don't forget. Anyway, looks like we're moving in now. The enemy's going to get completely surrounded. We got 8 squigs getting ready to move into the enemy's back lines and overrun their range, together with a couple of boar boys, unless I'm mistaken, or at least 1 unit of boar boys from the WAAAGH. And then, of course, our leading line of orcs to smash into the enemy's halberdiers and other decent melee fighters, while our goblins bring up the rear as well. But effectively, just hitting the enemy from every possible direction. Alright, halberdiers facing off against the orc spears here. Looks like Gelt will start with the Gehenna's Golden Hands and a Searing Doom on this choke point as we move on in. Pretty great use of those spells by Gelt's AI, I do have to admit. And that was pretty much the ideal time to, at the very least, get a little bit of area denial going. Probably should have waited until we had actually engaged the enemy forces, however. It does separate 1 unit of orcs away from the rest of our army, and this unit is getting absolutely torn to shreds by the halberdiers here. And oh, they have harmonic convergence as well, which does make sense. The rest of our units are now finally moving in mortar shells and dropping among them, as we have not yet had time to engage those mortars with the range units. Cavalry, rather. And just as we move on in, we activate our WAAAGH. So here comes all of our units of squiggies going to smash into the enemy crossbows and into the back line of whatever units we can. There we go, gonna send some of those guys flying, and this unit of halberdiers and spears and archers, by the looks of it, or huntsmen, will be surrounded and over time destroyed. Gelt himself is also in pretty bad shape, in fact down to about 10% of his HP, as Blorg has a Tormentor sword, and this time around Gelt can't escape. What he can do is a rout, and we'll hopefully chase him down and make sure that he definitely doesn't come back. Alright, come on, Blorg. He's right there. Somebody, please. It's the principle of the thing. Somebody take a swing. And yes, there we go, Blorg, you did it. Otherwise, the bounce power's at about, say, 60% in our favor. Not completely there yet, but not all of our units have completely engaged yet. More of these squig herds have arrived and are smashing into the back lines of the enemies. And Mangler Squig's next episode, I promise. They're a little bit expensive, which is why I've been waiting a little bit, perhaps longer than I'd like. But anyway, now just engaging with those of the enemy elites that remain, whether it be the halberdiers or the greatswords on the main line. The mortars have been found by the enemy, and looks like only the enemy's center still in the fight. Everybody else has routed and or shattered. And it is now just a matter of time. Hardly surprising that it's the greatswords that will hold. And perhaps this portion of the enemy army is unaware that the rest of their forces have fled, that Gelt has been killed and will not return. But they can no longer hear those mortar shells whistling overhead, so at least they know that the artillery has grown silent. No crossbows flying, bolts flying over their heads. And only the hopeless sound of wah from every direction on the battlefield. Best try to take as many of those remaining orcs with you, as that's all you can do at this point. Balance of power's at about 90% in our favor. Now, it looks like a unit of crossbows has actually rallied. We're still trying to chase down the enemy wizards, but it looks like the wizard will waver and rout as well. Of course, all of the enemy crossbows have been destroyed, or at the very least forced to rout by the piles of squiggies. Gotta love the little guys. And I really can't wait until we get them their own army. Should have probably sent a couple more units to help against the greatswords at least, because they kind of tore the orc boys with spears to shreds. But that's hardly surprising. We were busy on with all the other units in the enemy army. 135 kills and 17k damage. I mean, these are basic, relatively unbuffed orc boys, so that's hardly surprising. I'd love to see how a greatsword unit would fare against a sort of a berserk unit of orc boys with the highest level of buffs that we can give them. We shall eventually see, as it is absolutely our goal in this particular campaign to invade the Empire, rather than deal with the same sort of territories that Thorgrim was dealing with. Anyway, it looks like with that, the enemy swordsmen are done, and it looks like the greatswords will shatter as soon as our Goblin Big Boss and our Orc War Boss Blorg have arrived and charged them in the back. There we go. That Empire Captain bravely held the center of the enemy line even as the rest of the army was overrun, and great job to those great swords, I will admit. Alrighty, there we go, another really nice fight with, of course, the great swords and the halberdiers doing the most damage for the enemy army, and 42 kills and 18,000 damage. Alas, the great swords, while they did great, it just wasn't enough. As much as I love the sort of trope, or the battles wherein we have a, super elite small contingent of troops obliterating an overwhelming force of enemies, like when dwarfs fighting the Skaven, for example, I love it the other way around, /giggle, as well as overwhelming a better trained army with piles of trash is also just really entertaining, and the orcs certainly delivered that in droves with their WAAAGHs. Anyway, close victory, and we bid farewell to Balthasar Gelt. Much as I would have loved to have farmed his defeat rate, I'm once again still a little bit on how I feel about doing that, so it is what it is. Anyway, we are going to not raid our own territory like so, and the armor will help us out. Hey, another swindler. I think we're gonna give that to Blorg rather than Huglug, though, as the other swindler... Oh, wait. One is on Huglug, one is on Kraka One Finger. Okay, we'll definitely give one to you. And then who is leading this army? Gluzgag. Let's give this to you. There we go. Alright, I think that's right. And hey, another armor of Gork. I'm getting these now. Nice. Faction destroyed Golden Order. Blorg, I guess... Well, actually, is the Trickster's Helm better than the armor of Gork? That's a question. 5 melee defense and 5 ward save versus 5 melee defense and 10 ward save. I actually think that the Trickster's armor would be better. Granted, this gives you charge bonus. We could maybe give one of these. Well, I do like the fact that it's Orc Lords getting the armors of Gork. Maybe we could give a Trickster's Helm to one of the Shamans. Feels, I don't know, more thematic, wouldn't you say? I would. Anyway, you are going to go this way, you are going to go this way, you are going to go to the spiders, you are going to go southward to Mr. Gorbad, and ooh, it looks like we got here just in time as Scrot the Warpsmith is on the attack. Alrighty, Gorbad, you're about to attack yourself, Luggandaloony, and you guys, you are unable to reach a chaos, and we do need the WAAAGH here, so we're not going to attack it yet. I guess we're just going to proceed towards it. And get ready. We also got to pay attention to the 10 turn limit. We got 6 more turns, by which time most likely these guys will redeclare war on us, and we'll need to be able to defend Zvorak, and probably these territories as well, as I would wager that we would have taken them by now. By then, rather. And we'll probably also need to do a bunch of unit swapping, probably use this army to help against the South Confederacy so that we can fight the Barrow Legion at the same time, though I was originally intending to send you up north to help against Beric Var. I guess we're just going to have, Gorbad deal with it. He has to deal with a lot, let's be real. Anyway, Oeragor, we are going to just keep you where you are, Gore. And Grom, you're fine where you are as well. We'll build you a few more gobs once we can afford them, possibly very soon. Morglis, I forgot who you are. Oh, right, you're following. And then Distinky Legbita is probably going to join one of these armies. Frankly, you would also be useful in a forest goblin army. Frankly, the additional troop replenishment would be probably quite necessary in this army, huh? On the other hand, if we were to get another River Troll Hag, we would pop her into this army easier, because this army's less far away, so let's do that for now. Also, you're a caster, so it's not like you're going to be relying on the River Troll Hag to cast, whereas here, that's not quite the case. Anyway, let's see about building. I don't think that there's going to be a lot of it, but there's certainly going to be some. Toranrock, we should max out the Horde, get that money in, and I guess we will build the Raiden stashes here. I mean, I guess we could upgrade you next turn. You know what? We should actually upgrade this while we're here, then. It looks like it's not going to fall. It is expensive, though. You're going to go into Camp Ruckus, which will also reduce the amount of money we're generating from this territory. Although, actually, wait. You're our most money-making territory, and you have a +6 right now. And perhaps we can turn off Camp Ruckus, at least for now, from here. Does anything... Oh, well, we wouldn't want the control reduction. I guess we do brag about the boss. It does absolutely nothing for us, but at the same time, at least it's not... Well, this is also giving us growth. You know, and keep it on. The faster we get more tier 4s up and running, the better it's going to be faction-wide, so I readily admit that. You, Shaman's Hovel, we are going to need a lot more Shamans. You are going to be needed as well. Night Goblin Hovels. Basically, any type of hovel is one that we need. And I believe that's it, other than Gorbad attacking. Before we do attack, let's do some naming. It's episode 3 or 4, I guess now, after all. So we might as well. Tactical Boys. Gorbad's Thunkers, like so. Daka Enthusiasts, like so. Alright, a couple more. Special Ops, and okay, we got one more. Let's do purple boys, because I assume because they're sneaky. What about... Okay, these are boar boy biggins. I mean, I guess we're going to keep these guys around and we'll evolve them, but, yeah. All right, barbarians. Fantastic. I'm a sucker for a bad pun. And hog riders. Like so. I might as well name one of you guys. And we'll double check whether these guys actually keep their names when they evolve, because I swear it happened one time that they didn't keep their names, and I was upset about it because I forgot what the name was. Yes. Anyway, well, they're not in the fight yet, but while we're doing a round of naming, let's name a couple of forest goblin spider riders. We're going to need a lot of regular and forest gob names, incidentally, and night gobs. Basically, tons of gobs. I do love my gobs, and we're going to be using them a fair bit. Anyway, spider riders, greaser jumpers, and sneaky purple riders. There we go. Alright, let us do a rock lobber, at least one. Let's do the first one. We're gonna keep all three, most likely, in this army. Grudge returnas. Should be with a Z. I'm gonna go with a Z. Feels more appropriately orky to me. We do have a bunch of squig names, but I think we can leave those until we got the squig armies up and running. And we'll do some regular orc boys when we actually attack with them and stuff. Anyway, Mr. Gorbad. Go to Oeragor. Go to Gorbad. Oh, ooh, we should rename it. Oh, wait, we'll rename it later because we're going to not keep the place. Probably. Yeah, we're just gonna give it to these guys for whatever cash they can give because we need the cash. I guess the question is gonna be, should we fight? Ooh, hello, Pillar of Bone. Yeah, I guess we should. I was about to say, should we fight the Cornates here, or should we leave them? The thing is, they don't hate us, but they are fighting the orcs. On the other hand, they would also probably be fighting Skaven and dwarfs and stuff nearby. Huh, wait, do we not know you? Or are you not willing to talk to us? I guess we haven't met them yet. Alright, we'll see what we have to see once we get closer to them. I wouldn't necessarily mind having Gorbad kill off an exalted bloodthirster on his way to Iron Rocks, so anyway, let's do this fight.
Listen good, lads. You fight, you stick to the plan, and you win. Questions? No questions. Whoa!
Questions, no questions, why indeed, my friend. Perfect speech. Anyway, here we go. Balthasar Gelt had his last stand, and while Teclis will not be on field, still recuperating from his wounds somewhere, like the little elf he is, we will be defeating his faction for good here. We are going to start annoying the enemy army best as we can with those goblin bolt doors. They are not going to do much, as we already know, but they might, wow, actually they've been firing away and still haven't gotten any damage whatsoever. Come on. Really, every single shot has missed. How have you 0 damage? There we go, 624. Oh, what a silly unit. Anyway, they're here to eventually get replaced. Really, we just need a wyvern because we don't really need artillery in Gorbad's army. But we need the wyvern for siege attacker, as Gorbad doesn't have it. Alright, well, either way, it looks like the enemy army is annoyed and moving towards us. Fortunately, we got the range on the Gorbad Stunkers, and the rest of the tactical boys gonna fire those crossbow bolts into the elves as they approach. Alright, we're gonna start, of course, on the enemy units of White Lions, which are decently damaged at this point, regardless of the Lion Cloak. They've taken damage from not only our crossbows, but also from our mage, who's been casting Gaze of Mork upon them. Anyway, here come the two lions to smash into each other, or the lions smashing into the lion. The lions smashing into the lion, as in the White Lions. I got it. Anyway. Pump wagon's going to charge right through the enemy, but we're just going to leave them there as we don't really need them to help win against the enemy in terms of the range shootout. Unlike where we previously fought Teclis, who had Lothern Seaguard primarily, these are heavy arrowhead elven archers, and they don't have those shields to protect them from the crossbows. And Edbutt will knock out a fair few of them. The crossbow bolts continue flying and tearing the rest of the heavy arrowheads to shreds. The enemy melee line is in no better shape, especially now that Gorbad's WAAAGH has activated, buffing everybody up. We did send in the pump wagons to help the orc boys against the white lions, as obviously there's a pretty heavy troop disparity, and a unit of white lions should be able to rip a unit of orc boys apart without too much issue. Our shaman has decided to move on in and start whacking away at the enemy with his staff and with that big old cleaver of his. Chopper, I should say. Gorbad's still running around, but it looks like the battle is very nearly ours at this point. The enemy main line has collapsed. There are a couple of units fighting on the flanks, but it looks like they're in the process of being overrun. A nice charge into those Lothern Seaguard with our orc boar boy biggins, but we got more boar boys where that came from as well. And while after the charge bonus is done, I would expect the Lothern Seaguard to dish out very heavy damage to the boar boys, and they are taking some hits. They're not going to be able to deal with the orc boar boys coming in from every direction and overrunning and obliterating them. Looks like another unit of spears still holds here, and ooh, getting themselves into formation just as we charge on in with some Gabo units. That's going to be a while, though. Out here we got orc boys with spears facing off against the other, for the elf spears. And we're not going to help them too much. We are trying to get as many kills as we possibly can with any spear units we can on the map, simply because we are looking to unlock that tactic, that plan that gives the melee damage reflection to all spear units. It is too valuable not to try to unlock it as quickly as possible. Alright, it looks like with that, the enemy spears at the very least will book it on out of there, and with them the last of the enemies will break the Archmage of Fire, who we were having a little bit of a difficult time chasing down, as broken, and the last battle of the High Elves in this region of the world is ours. Depending on if the High Elves at Elftown have survived the Continental Exarchate, we might be able to fight some more High Elves, but I don't think any other High Elf faction will be nearby, so it'll probably be a while before we see any Elves again. So we had to enjoy the battles while we had them, and certainly a big reason to have moved down, at least into the north of the Badlands, in order to fight these guys. Anyway. Alright, there we go, another nice fight. The bonus post-battle loot that has been coming out of those buildings that we've been building has been pretty helpful with these, and either way with that, so ends the saga of Teclis, just like the saga of Gelt previously. Damage, pretty minimal. We got a little bit of damage on some of the orc boys, but hardly surprising since we used them as the main line for this army for now, though eventually it'll be the hybrid boys that'll be fighting both in melee and missile, which I think will be a little bit more fun to watch, or at the very least, just generally speaking, fun to watch. Decisive victory, great job to Gorbad, and let's see, we got 14k, so Barbarians did pretty well, and 13k, the Erd-Nosed Pigs are close behind them. As for the tacticals, we've got Gorbad's Thunkos thunking away. Lovely. Anyway, Occupy. I mean, we could loot and occupy, but we are looking to trade, and if we loot it, we have to repair it, and if we have to repair it, then it'll probably take longer to trade, so just occupy, whatever. Alrighty, and I was captured at tier 3. Interesting. I guess we still want to build at least the cheap military structures to make them make the building worth more once we trade it to these guys, and then they can hold on to it for us until we're ready to confed them. Speaking of confed, let's see, WAAAGH target occupied. I just want to take a look at what we've got in terms... Oh, Clan Vulcan. Yeah, we could do that. Free money. Let's see, defensive alliance with Queen Tree Trick. I'm not so sure that we actually want alliances with all of these guys, because they'll just draw us into fights, so that's iffy. Oh, looks like Black Venom lost their main army, eh? That's interesting. We could get the 5 territories from doing this. Of course, we would then immediately have a border with the North Confederacy. It does mean we would be pieced out with Carrick Hearn, though. And we do, at least for now, have the Big Yumi's trophy, so this might be the best time to actually do the Confed so that it doesn't cripple us in terms of our public order. It'll still hurt, but hopefully it won't be as bad. Yeah, this will go into Camp Ruckus, so it'll be fine. These places will no longer be fine, but they're not really collecting much money anyway, so it's not a big deal. And then you can uncollect the income. Because, well, we're going to trade you anyway. Alrighty, and oh, hey, stop raiding technically our territory right now. I think we should. I think we should. Alright, then if we should, then we will. You, Grom, will... I mean, I guess you'll want one more turn of recruiting forest gobs. Ugh, minus 2.2k. You just gotta keep on fighting. That's the nature of the forest gobs. We can always delete some units if I overdo it, which is a distinct possibility at this point. Anyway, you're gonna get 4 more. And we're gonna need single entities here, and obviously Arachnaroks and stuff, but it'll be a while before we get those. And, well, we don't technically have capacity for single entities. We'll try to get that up and running shortly. Oh, in fact, maybe these guys have some nice capacity for us. Alright, so here's what we'll do. First, defensive alliance, and give us your money. Then, military alliance, and give us all your money. Then, wait, I just want to check if there are enemies in your territory right now. There are not. Which means Confed. Alright, and that's why I didn't care about giving them our territory, because this was always the plan, or territory that we had conquered. Hvargir, Forest, River, Starneck are both ours now. What do you have here? Spider Tree, Boar Tree, okay, you're out. Shaman's Hovel, that's nice, you're gonna keep that. You need to get rid of the Stomping Grounds, though we may want to take the opportunity to get another River Troll Hag on field. Alright, let's get one here. I know another Witch Doctor for the recovery. Another lord that can fight in melee. Oh, you are so expensive. Alright, 3.3k, we'll fix it. We might potentially fix it. Also, what was that? Treasury, Confederation. Oh, yeah, we'll work on that. Mr. Ogak, what do you have? Oh, another Deshroomiest? Come on, man. Useless. What about the big bosses? We got a Backstabber. Good for nasty skulkers. Ironic, but because we already have one. And we have a Wiggler. Attribute immunity to flanking for all goblins, squigs, artillery, and spiders. Solid. This will work in our spider army and our night goblin army, really any of those armies. So you're gonna head down immediately. What's our capacity for these guys at? We'll take a look at the Black Orc big bosses shortly as well. We're at 3 out of 2. We'll need a Skinna for the forest gobs and the regular gobs. We need so many of these. Alright. You can... Alright, first of all, go to Camp Ruckus. Keep the military structures here for now until I'm ready, because we want to get a few more heroes on field. This is certainly a military structure right now. Oh, we can build colossal squigs. And Night Goblin big bosses. Can we... we're at 2 out of 2. Wait, we only have 1. Where's the other one? Did you get another hero that I didn't see? Gosbag? Yeah. Poisoner. Now, I like Poisoner. I have nothing against it. But, oh, Brovska, you're in trouble. Alright, in light of Brovska about to get attacked, well, we're gonna try to march you over there. Oh, you have a troll. That'll help. Alright, I think we're going to have to take the hit in terms of our money this turn. I don't think we have much of a choice in the matter until we delete this army. That will fix it. It is a Confed. We'll lose 3.3k, but it'll fix it, I hope. And then this army will be the one to deal with these guys. We'll transfer whatever we have to it. Yeah, the Backstab is not going to be useful, but we'll keep him until we're ready to delete him and replace him. We will want more gob buildings in this entire province for now, I think, just to get the additional capacities for goblin big bosses. Wait, what do we need to build to get the night gob? Oh, it's this building. We could, in theory, goblinify this province, but we'll see. Okay, you're going to go into Camp Ruckus, and we're not going to upgrade anything or invest in it right now. And then this place... We are now at 3 out of 3 of the Giant River Troll Hags, so we're going to delete this building. The Black Orc Barracks we will delete. The Night Goblin building we will... you know what? Actually, this is probably going to be a good military building, or military territory. Sawmills and Beast Slayers both. Yeah, okay, I like it. This should be one of our military territories. In fact, it might be our main military territory compared to all of those. This one can then be converted into a money-making territory. The less those structures you have, the less worth it is to make it a money-making as opposed to a military territory. Anyway, the rest of that looks good to me. Now, the forest gobos are obviously going to stick around, so we're going to immediately get them padded shields. They're going to need them. We can't afford you. We can't afford you. Come on, Ruinous, relax. Alright, and then we got the spiky bits, which is great, I admit. Admittedly, these guys are already at gold shield. So I guess the question is, can padded shields actually do anything else? Does anybody know? Actually, I'm curious about this. Does anybody know whether there is a hard limit on the 70% blocking in terms of shields? As in, is there no point in getting padded shields on them at all, considering they already have a gold shield? Or is that trait... Well, I guess we could still counteract Shield Breaker, can't we? So padded shields would still be useful, as a lot of things have access to Shield Breaker, admittedly. Well, if nothing else, what we can do is upgrade the Spider Riders, definitely get them the armor and speed, and the Spider Rider Archer... Oh. Huh, interesting. So we don't have Critter Crafting to give that armor-piercing weapon damage on these guys, but we can already get armor-piercing missile damage via heavy ammo on these guys. So I think we will... I was about to say do that, but... well, actually, let's see what the missile strength is. Yeah, they're going to need the armor-piercing damage, even though this is quite nice. Armor-piercing missile damage plus 3. Alright, there we go. And the Spider Rider archers will function as goblin archers, so we don't necessarily have to use them as cavalry in that way. We will, but we don't have to. I'm just saying. Alright, the rest of this is good. We're gonna forego the padded shields for now. Nah, just do it. Screw it. I still think that they will still counteract whatever it was I said. Shield Breaker. There we go. Come on, Ruinous. Memory of a goldfish, man. Anyway, skip, and... Or memory of a orc. Not a gobbo, though. I'm not that impressive. Anyway, sure. Alright, down to minus 3.6k per turn. Eventually it won't matter when we have armies ranging all over the place, but right now we do not have that. You have a couple of Knights of the Black Rose, do you? Interesting. I assume you can't cross. Can you do anything to this? You can try to wound, but frankly, I'd rather not lose you. Summon Besiege. Yeah, we'll deal with you in a second. Ready for duty, Grotzlik, Goblin, Great Shaman. Hey, upkeep reduction for Gobos. Oh, wow, and that's with the upkeep reduction. Grotzlik, I'm curious, what do you have? Deluckiest, which is still kind of meh, to be honest. But oh well. Night Goblins, no. We got range, we got another Decrasiest, and Burniest, and Baddest. Huh, income from raiding. Not bad if we want to make a raider specific army. Anyway, it's probably that we're going to have to wipe these beastmen out. We can't ally with them, and they're useless, and they're just going to raid and then annoy us. So yeah. Oh, also, looks like we can go over 22 plans. Oh, also, do we have a spider plan? Oh, spider plan. We have Net Them Up, which gives us missile block chance minus 50 for enemy. And, oh, wow, 20-second duration of cannot move. The range is fairly short. That's quite interesting. That probably means that we want to actually maybe replace some of the Forest Gobs with Forest Goblin Spider Riders. Okay, certainly something to think about. What about you? Do we have any spider stuff? We do not have spider stuff. We need more spider stuff. I assume that there is something with spiders in here somewhere, or at least I hope there are. We have web weaving, but it's kind of... I mean, it is a nice hex. Enable the friendly spider unit in range, eh? I assume it applies to other spider units. We need spider worship tech. I'm working on it. Oh, actually, speaking of techs, we completed tech. What do we want to go for next? Go fast, that gives us campaign movement range, which is always nice. Post-battle loot is always nice as well. Armor for wolf riders, which we're not using kind of there right now. Spider worship plus 4 melee attack. Not bad. I do like the additional artillery bonuses. We got bigger wagons, unit mass for pump wagons. Glorious charge for chariots. Unit mass for boar boys. Armor piercing weapon damage for orc boar units. I think that's the way to go. We are still trying to get to bigger and better bosses, and it's going to take 33 turns. Alright, that's... well, we're going to need tech thieves and stuff to be able to deal with that.
Get it?
Just keep going for now. I do hesitate to move you out and potentially get attacked by the... guess you're going this way. Hesitate to move you out and potentially get attacked by the dwarfs, but we gotta move. We are at war with these guys, and they ain't peacing out, so... It is what it is. Alright, you're gonna go into this army. Unfortunate that you're not a forest gob, but, well... We'll take any gob we can. Alrighty, you guys, alright, I wish we could see this territory. If they head towards WAAAGH, it'll be really unfortunate. But I think we can't do anything about it. So I guess what we could do is we could use you to reinforce and have the other guy take a chaos. I think that's the way to do it. So you're gonna go here. You, lug into Looney, will attack. And it looks like you'll provide us some use here at least. You're currently allied with Monte Castello, and you're fighting factions we don't know, so we have to directly declare war on you. And the Monte Castello will join up. You are gonna besiege. And we will... Oh, can we risk it? Is this an atrocious idea? I guess we're about to find out. Let's see how much damage we take doing this. This is a terrible idea. No, actually, no, it wasn't too bad. Alrighty, and we will occupy. Lovely, we got to keep the port. We are not collecting the income, and we are certainly not going to continue raiding. You can start moving towards Thessos, and we'll see whether we can beat them on the field. And by besieging them next turn and hopefully getting them to sally out. We will immediately build... I mean, I guess we'll want to build the raiding stashes here. Even without collecting income, this place will still be helpful in that regard. And then... Which doctor? Alright, you are going to join one of the Orky armies. So, go join one of the Orky armies. Alright, you... Oh, wait. Lethal poison. Large explosion with knockback effect. You know what, now that I think about it, maybe you're better than joining one of the goblin armies instead of one of the Orky armies. Fair enough. Alright, we'll deal with you in a second. I want to see... Okay, you're not able to reach us yet. Or reach here yet, but that's fine. You'll get there. Alright, and next up, you are still heading to Gorbad, and you're gonna have to meet up here in Cornate territory, I guess. Do we have... Yes, we can travel through these territories. You... are out of here. We are not keeping Oeragor. You are going to move here. We might have to attack the Cornates just to... I'm just thinking... We could use some Cornate units, I will admit, within our armies. It wouldn't be the worst idea, and orcs do occasionally... I'll think about it. We still have a couple of turns while we're on the way, I guess. Oeragor, you will be transferred to these guys completing their province, so that's Dahaulas, that's these guys. Alright, so we will... and we'll eventually confederate them anyway, so that's... Oh! We don't have a cooldown on Confed? Interesting. We could confederate Scabby Eye and Broken Nose, and... Well, that's a curiosity. I want to see something. We are at 4 turns of -8 control. If we confederate these guys now... This may be a terrible idea, but I want to see something. Confed. Alright. If we confederate these guys now, we are at 5 turns. Ah, okay, so it maxes out at 5 turns. So, not such a bad thing. Yes, we are at -7.4k, but shut up. You are a Goblin Big Boss. Alright, you have Wiggla. Flanking immune for all Goblin, Squigs, Artillery, and Spiders. You currently have also Wiggla. So that one is going to go to... Oh, if I remember who. Oh, you have a bunch of Night Gobbos. Oh, fantastic. Our Night Goblin army is starting. Good. You know what? I guess... Well, actually, that's a question. I need to double check Night Goblin Big Bosses. We have one, and I don't remember where he is. I don't, for the life of me, remember where I put him. Night Goblin with the Night Goblins, perhaps? That's a regular Goblin Big Boss. Ah, yes, Night Goblin Big Boss. What I wanted to see was, do you do anything for Night Goblin Infantry or no? No, you just buff Squigs. You just buff the heck out of Squigs. So you know what? You're fine as you are then. We can keep you, and most of your units as they are. Excuse me? Okay, well, we're not deleting the Black Orcs, I guess. The cost is insanity, but... okay, we have to figure this out. You have Distabiest. Impressive Murderer. Not horrible. What do you have? Deluniest. Frankly, I don't like either one of these. But the Stabbiest is better than the Looniest. You are a great shaman, and you are a great shaman. Okay, so here's what we'll do. They're gonna go here. You're gonna go... Are we close enough to raid these guys? No, you know what? We're going to need to move to start raiding them. Pretty much immediately. No choice in the matter. Like so, and then you're going to trade some units and delete the rest. I didn't see what the shaman did, but I guess the shaman wouldn't want to be in this army anyway. Around a bunch of gobs. You are going to trade all of these night gobs. You are going to lose the arrow boys, the nasty skulkers. Keep the squigs, lose the work boys, and... maybe keep the black orcs just for now. We're going to take them out of your army, but you can use them as, you know, the actual damage dealers and stuff. I guess you could keep two of the squigs. Hey, let's do that. Alright, then we'll get rid of everything here. What do you have? Unbreakable. Kind of a mad trait. There's probably better ones available. Oh, we can't build you yet, or can we? Yeah, we can build a better one. We have the technology. Big stick, rally, targeting range for spells, and another unbreakable. And that's the big wall from the Orc Shaman. Not that unbreakable is horrible. These guys do have a bad tendency to miscast, mind you. And we'll keep you on for now, but we'll see about whether we keep you on and for how long. Anyway, pump wagons and... well, we could use the orc boys because we can transfer them to the orc army, and you guys can be converted to orc boys. So get rid of the gobs for now. And I think we are all squigged out in the sense that we have plenty of squigs. So we'll delete those. You will use as an army to start raiding Belagar's territory. But we have to be wary of declaring war on him right now, I think. Although, wait, he has Grim Peak. He is kind of on the way to where Gorbad is going right now. Also, I take it this is full of Skaven? Yeah, that's fine. Once again, I'm perfectly happy with the Skaven controlling the mountains here. Alright, Blorgrader. For now, we are going to use you as you are until these guys all get here, and then we can combine troops, but it does mean what we can do is briefly grab the oh, no, we can also do. Trade... and trade, just for the XP. You are going to grab the Mysterious Island, and then hopefully we have enough movement range to go for the shipwreck as well. Go for aggression, and ow. I should have done it the other way around, then we would have been able to reach it. Alright, fine, go into March Stance, land, so that you don't waste as much money. We'll swap some units next turn, then we'll go for that, and go. Alright, good. Alright. It's all coming together. It's a little confusing, I know, but it'll be worth it, trust. Anyway, Oeragor is gonna go to these guys, I assume... oh, wait. You know, it's funny, if we confederate them, which we very much can, what'll happen is... it would be a bunch of immediate territory. I'm just thinking that what will happen is we won't then be able to trade them Oeragor, which we could get 4.8k out of. If we do a defensive alliance, we can get 2.1k. Really, it's their heroes we want. Maybe we should just do it. Once again, I kind of want to just not be in the Badlands for too much longer. Screw it, do it. Alright, there we go. Terrible idea? I don't know. We'll find out if if I become overwhelmed with territory and stuff. And oh, you have a bunch of the hordes. That ain't horrible. That ain't horrible. Well, actually, it is horrible. Let's see what you got. We've got a couple of wolf riders. Okay, you don't need the pump wagons. All right, let's do that. What do we have here? Another Skinner. Okay, somebody else needed a Skinner. Oh, I am getting confused. You have a Wiggler, right? Yes, you have a Wiggler that you're going to keep for the Night Gobs. And then the Skinner is going to go to your army then. Yes, alright, so you get out of this army and go to that army. What do you have? You have a Night Goblin, Big Boss. You have Feral Rage. That is atrocious. You are a terrible Night Goblin, Big Boss, and I hate you. We will get rid of all of this. Wait, did I keep any of the Wolf Riders? There's a couple here. We do want a Wolf Rider army. What do you have? The Shroom... oh, we keep getting confeds of garbage traits. Alright, you have range. Alright, maybe we'll keep you. Keep somebody. You're gonna go to the Hylas camp. You're gonna sit there for a turn. You are gonna go into March Stance, and... okay, no, you're gonna go here. We're going to transfer units, and we're gonna delete you because we have too many on field now, and we're losing an insane amount of money per turn. Alright, like so. And the Shroomiest, yeah, you're out. You're out, bud. Wait, do you have any items? You do not, alright. We'll reset you. We might still use you as a recruiter lord, even if I don't like the shroomiest. There's still potential there. And you are going to the Night Gobs. Okay, you have to be in the way, didn't you? Alrighty, you Night Goblin Shaman have what? Chanton, control growth, and control. Okay, so you're useless, but we can keep you on field until we're ready to replace you. You we're probably going to replace as well. I want to see something. Yeah, we can just upgrade the regular gobs to nasty skulkers into spider riders, so we can probably still do that. To send to another army. And I guess we're going to give Blorg the Black Orcs. And we got to put them somewhere, right? Plus, at least this way we get a few Black Orcs on field early, if we can somehow manage to afford them. After all this, admin has and all that. Anyway, get rid of the pump wagons. I love the pump wagons, don't get me wrong, but we have too many now. And I think we have sufficient Night Gobs in this army, at least for now. Can the regular Night Gob non-fanatics be upgraded to archers? Yeah, they can be upgraded to fanatics or... Yeah. And I assume that regular Night Goblin archers can be upgraded to fanatic archers after. So this is fine. I was gonna do 2 Night Gob armies anyway. One with trolls and then one with squigs, and yeah. And of course the squig army, but that's a bit different. Anyway, you're not needed then. You're not able to upgrade into anything that would be useful here. We do want a raiding wolf army, so we will combine that with that. And we will, of course, eventually want a goblin army. That's a bunch of different goblin stuff. That'll be different from this goblin army. Oh man, there's like a billion armies we gotta try. It's nice. As soon as we get them all in the field, it'll be even nicer. Anyway, WAAAGH, you are needing to move. I already moved Gorbad. And who's Gosbag? Alright, this guy. Poisoner. As to whether we keep you remains to be seen, but move on in for now. WAAAGH, you will reinforce. We will see whether these guys are willing to fight. I can't tell whether you're reinforcing, but what do we have here? A bunch of stuff. We should be able to beat this army, no problem. They will fight. Close defeat. The Knights of the Black Rose are certainly going to be a problem, but I think we can overcome it. Frankly, that's a lot of cav. And the single entities are going to be an issue as well, and the fact that we're in March is going to be an issue as well, but it'll be fun, so go. Alrighty, here we go. Can we pull this off? It remains to be seen. The big issue, of course, is going to be those units of Knights of the Black Rose. The enemy has 3 of them. They have very high stats. They have that ballistic shielding on them, directional shielding, whatever, as well as bleed. 64 melee defense and bleed, so even their melee attack being relatively low, well, 46, definitely relatively, it's going to be a huge issue for us. 130 armor, bleed application, anti-infantry bonuses, 3 of them. Well, it's iffy. It's definitely iffy. And we've got 2 minutes, so now a minute and 30 seconds until, or was it 10 seconds, whatever. 2 minutes from the start until our reinforcements arrive. So we're going to have to hold back the Knights of the Black Rose and whatever else the enemy sends against us, like these Pistoliers, until our reinforcements are here. Anyway, we're going to start the battle off by focusing those Pistoliers down, basically the range cav with all of our missile troops. We allow the Knights of the Black Rose, or at least this unit of Knights of the Black Rose, to close, and then we quickly pop off the netting on the units of Knight Gobbo archers. It's only 5 seconds, but it essentially stops the enemy cavalry in their tracks and prevents them from properly charging us and using their mass to get deep into our formation and send our units flying back. Still, those Knights of the Black Rose do look absolutely fantastic. And I do like the fact that the Knights of the Black Rose actually maintain their own color scheme rather than taking the faction's color scheme, because, well, it allows a lot more sort of mixing color schemes together. Probably not going to be able to tell when we play Carl because his own color scheme is red, but, well, for other factions. Anyway, Knights of the Black Rose have charged on in. The bounce power is obviously very much in the enemy's favor, still having the range shootout happening, and still waiting around with the Orc boys to protect us against the other Knights of the Black Rose and the Empire Knights as well. Here comes the charge. We're going to do the same thing. Just as the enemy gets to move on in, we stop them in their tracks and then charge them instead with our Orc boys. We're obviously not going to win the fight, as the bleed will do enough damage over time to destroy the orc boys, but that's not the goal here. The goal is just to allow the reinforcements to move on in. We're not even going to bother in terms of shooting the enemy crossbows, and just do our best to knock out those pistoliers since we can't really chase them down. Alright, Knights of the Black Rose are working away. We got that bleed on our unit of orc boys. Knights are basically down by 5% of their HP, and we got 20% on one unit of orc boys and 40% on the other. Going to try to fix that a little bit by popping off that WAAAGH and dishing out the extra little bit of damage. Halberdiers are also tearing the other unit of orc boys to shreds. But we're doing our best. First of our reinforcements have arrived, and the enemy was not able to spot them coming out the forest. And the tiny little wolf chariots and the bigger boar chariots, as well as some squig hoppers, have smashed into the enemy pistoliers. At least we got some units that we have not yet had the chance, the pleasure of using in this particular campaign in this army. And they'll be split off to join other armies so that we begin those types of armies. Trolls are coming in as well, and they're going to be very, very much needed in this particular army. In fact, we are going to have to try to do our best to make sure that they don't rout. Their damage, even if their armor-piercing damage is kind of meh, still going to be critical to trying to knock out a few of those Knights of the Black Rose. And whatever infantry they can as well. I believe these two Knights of the Black Rose have been joined by a unit of great swords plus the enemy general, so it's hardly surprising that the boar boys and the orc boys there are on the verge of collapse. On the bright side, we've already seen squigs do good work in this particular battle, and we got Night Goblin squig hoppers to have joined them. And they should be able to tear through that unit of crossbows without too much difficulty. Especially with a little bit of help from some pump wagons, some boar chariots, and some wolf chariots. Alrighty, battle is still underway, but the bounce power has shifted to our favor at about 65%. We've got our Black Orc Big Boss and a Goblin Big Boss together facing off against the enemy Empire Captain here, while the other Empire Captain is keeping one of our units of Gobbo Archers busy. And the enemy Lord is trying to chase down those chariots. They do get a quick charge into the rear lines of the enemy Halberdiers because the Orc boys are having trouble with them, but are going to have to back off lest they allow the enemy Lord to kill them off. The first of the enemy units of Empire Knights and Knights of the Black Rose, at least, are somewhat damaged. But they have sent one of the unit of Orc boys routing, and I believe they've destroyed or at least heavily damaged a unit of Boar boys as well. We can see here, unit of Orc Boar boys defeated by the Black Rose Knights, these two unit of Orc boys destroyed, this unit of Orc boys on the verge of collapse, and it's just essentially left to these trolls to hold back the tide of swords and knights. Good luck to the trolls, we're certainly going to need them. Going to buff them up a little bit. Sneaky stabbing combined with the big WAAAGH, giving them 66 melee attack, so hopefully they'll at least somewhat be able to get through the incredibly high melee defense of those Knights of the Black Rose. And the arrows, of course, continue to drop among them, but, you know, directional shield, 130 armor, and the relatively weak damage from our arrow types will probably not mean a crazy amount of damage to the enemy. That said, the bounce power continues to climb in our favor. The units of Knights of the Black Rose, the first one is nearly done for, still fighting with about 10% of their HP remaining, but hopefully they don't have too much left in the tank. Our range units have also been able to destroy the enemy pistoliers by and large, and our cav, having arrived, or the chariots and whatnot, have arrived and have destroyed the enemy crossbows. Unit of the Goblin Wolf Riders has now smashed into the Empire Knights here. And let's see, they've got plenty of HP, whereas the Knights are in trouble now. And who, just barely, but it looks like the Trolls are still holding. And distracting, once again, 2 units of Knights of the Black Rose is probably the only thing that was keeping us in this particular battle. If the enemy had, instead of getting blobbed up and distracted by our units, repeatedly cyclo-charged with those Knights of the Black Rose, charge on in, use your bonus, apply bleed, back out, do it again, maybe catch our range units as well, and they probably would have done a lot better, maybe even having been able to rout our first army before our reinforcements have arrived. Alas, they did not take advantage of what they had here, which is almost surprising due to the fact that the AI does like to cycle charge its knights, or its cav in general. Fortunately, though, it looks like we do manage to pull this one off in a fantastic fight. Very close in terms of our entire melee line collapsing, but we were just able to pull it off and see all those units in action as well. A lovely, lovely time. We're going to do our best to chase down and destroy whatever critical units we can here. Alrighty, there we go. A very nice fight. That was fantastic. We were having a lot of trouble with the Knights of the Black Rose and the enemy's anvil up until our own hammer, or the enemy hammer, until our own hammer arrived, and we got to screw around with the boar chariots, the wolf riders, the night goblin squigs, the wolf chariots, as well as the boar chariots, and that MVP, that unit of trolls, which held back 2 Knights of the Black Rose, and the great swords for quite a while. And gotta love trolls. And of course the pump wagons and night gobs and stuff as well. A very nice fight, all told. We're gonna take the money for obvious reasons, and hope that that should be enough. I'd love to slaughter the captives for the additional faction-wide control, but we gotta deal with what we've got, and what we've got right now is a money problem due to all those confeds. Alrighty, enemy killed in battle, and we got a Swindler Lugn, we got a Helmet Discard on WAAAGH, and you can't actually chase this guy down because you're in march stance. Alrighty, you. I forgot what you were again. Alright, Poisoner. Stay in this army, at least for now. We're gonna send you somewhere, assuming I can remember who needs to go where, which is a question. Anyway, we have a raiden hideout here. We probably want to build another one immediately. Yeah, keep building this. We need these everywhere. For more money. We probably don't need the Goblin Wolf Chariots building here, although, again, we do have some wolf stuff now, and we have a lower level variant of this here, so maybe we'll delete it out of here. We can also delete this. We can delete the Goblin Camp. Wait, do we get any value out of the exotic animal tamers? We do, hello. Recruitment cost for squig units, meaning we should have a squiggy building in this territory, and that is which building? It's not this building. Game, please. We also don't need the boar pens here. We can keep the... Okay, also go to Camp Ruckus, please. Alright, wait, which building is the squig building? It is... Oh, it's a direct squig building, go figure. Alright, fine, fair enough. We'll delete this and then build a squig building here. Then keep the Night Goblin Mushroom Distillery. We can keep the Shaman's Hovel, at least for now. Troll Cave is... nice. We do want more trolls, as... including in one of the Night Goblin armies, which is down here, and our only current troll building is all the way up there. We should also keep upgrading the hordes everywhere. We don't need another boar sty here. We do have a squig chasm here. We'll need more Night Goblin big bosses. Wait, we have 3 now? Where's the 3rd one? Alright, I'm gonna have to try to find those guys. Bruiser, speed for armor, eh? That'll be potentially interesting, but I think we can't afford you right now. We got a lot of stuff going on now, and we gotta figure out how to make it work. You can go into, not brag about the boss, but Camp Ruckus. And we'll need to get rid of, I guess, the Black Orc Barracks here after all, in Scabby Eye Camp to get the Raiden stashes. If you're wondering why it's that building I want to get rid of, it's because we get Goblin Big Boss capacity out of the Gobbo structures, and I think it's more important. At least for now. Alrighty, and let's hope that that's sufficient. I'm kind of disinclined to spend too much or really any money on buildings. Well, actually, you definitely need to build the boss's tent. And then you will, in theory, eventually need to build that goblin sawmill. It does give us upkeep reduction, though. It's not much, but it is upkeep reduction. I think we'll still need to build it. Spider building is probably unnecessary here. Oh, well, let's also double check the shamans. Okay, we have too many shamans already. Well, darn. The thing is, this one we'll probably want to replace here as well, but for now I think we'll just keep it around. Alrighty, anyway, Karnos Forest, okay, we will definitely want to upgrade the 2 towers, though. Like so and like so. And where public order is still fine, so we can keep the boss's camp. Citadel of Myrmidia. You will want the Raiden hideouts and horde upgrades, though You will also want the 2 towers here. Oh. And you will probably also want a pile of shiny stuff. Alright, fine. We'll then start with the Dagabo tents, because we need these everywhere. And since this place will probably be making at least some money, we'll still want a pile of shiny stuff here. We will, I guess, want to prioritize the boss's camp? Again, our control's okay here. And you're in Camp Ruckus? Yes. Alright, fine. Go for Raiden Hideout and Horde instead. Yeah. We need a lot of money to counteract what's going on with our, well, money. You can go for the pile of shiny stuff, and we'll need to get rid of one of these buildings to go for the pile of shiny stuff, and then since the boar building, the boar sty doesn't provide us any capacities, it is less worth it. And we have a tier 3 boar building. Wait, we're deleting that one, we're deleting this one. Oh, is this the only one that has one? Then we can't get rid of it yet. Oh, wait, we have one here. And Flying Fortress, which is then fine. We can just ferry them over if necessary. Although, you already have some Goblin Wolf Chariots and some Wolf Riders. Maybe you should be leading the wolves. Oh, not necessarily the Shaman. Wait, the Shroomiest. Oh, did I delete the wrong Shaman? Whoops. Or was that another Shaman? There's so many Shamans. Goblins, Squigs, Artillery, and Spiders. I was hoping that this would buff Wolves. It's a little bit annoying that it... Wait. It says all goblins, so I guess it does include wolves. So we could have Mr. Grotzlick the Luckiest lead a wolf army. I wanted a wolf army anyway because it gives additional raiding and sacking and whatnot. Anyway, this was very confusing, and I think we're going to have to go to next turn, unless we want to do something else here. Clan Spittle. Okay, we need money from anybody who's nearby, so we'll take the money from you, and we'll be friends. For now. How long that remains the case remains to be seen, but it's not like we orcs really care about, you know, betraying jerks. You, Clan Ferric. Are you here? This is Skaven territory, right? Well, as long as they're not holding any part of Blood River Valley, which we want all for ourselves. How many territories do you have? 4, meaning somebody's holding part... oh, no, actually, you're holding all of Blood River Valley plus Barrack Dawa's bag. And... to do this, we need capture Iron Rocks. We'll just declare war on them there. Alright. And that'll be another... Oh, that'll be another Confed, meaning we're going to get another debuff. Wait. I can just straight up Confed them. I don't need to do it that way. Huh. I wonder what would happen... Huh. Would this go away if we did it that way? I'm wondering whether we should then. We have all of this sort of shored up, assuming we don't want to go south right now, which we don't. I'm still on the fence about the Cornates here, though at the same time, let's see. They have aversion to us. They would make a decent fight. What Cornate units would we potentially want in our armies? The Slaughter Brute might be nice, and they are up to tier 4 now. Skull Cannons are always nice. Flush Hounds are better than any doggo. Well, they're good doggos, generally speaking. Gorby's Chariots. If of all the Chaos factions, the Cornate one probably meshes best with ours. We're not giving you 6k for this, though. I wonder if we could get them to declare war on anybody. How about North Confederacy? No dice. Okay, Cardinal Stare, relax. You're not even famous. You're not Cabanda, you're not Scarbrand, you're nobody. Anyway, Asdrag One Finger. You're fine. Alright, I guess we should just end the turn and see what happens next turn, because we have so many things running around now. And possible war declarations. I'm really tempted to just straight up confed these guys before we get to them. I'm a little bit worried that it then abandons the quest, though. And there's also, of course, the concern that they will immediately attack us. And by they, I mean the Dawi. On the other hand, we do have armies here, and we could send the Night Gobs to deal with Barrack Gavar, and that way Gorbad wouldn't have to do it. You know what, maybe we'll do that. Screw it. Do it. Let's see what we're looking at here. And, okay, Broken Nose, we're gonna leave you alone. We can't hold that managed territory now. 9.6k per turn. And, oh, it still counts as successful. Lovely. Interesting that everybody wanted to confederate with us at the same time. I guess we finally... Oh, everybody's heard about Gorbad and how he wiped out Balthasar Gelt and Teclis, and now all the boys want to join up and with a right proper WAAAGH. We'll also want to confederate Blackcrag ASAP, but they won't confederate right now. Diplomatic relations plus 50 with Greenskins, ironically, would help us confederate. Alrighty, now these guys. What did we get out of you? Gitter Beard Burner, I like the name. And you have another Poisoner. But you're a Goblin Big Boss rather than a Night Goblin Boss. Okay, what do we have here? Another Black Orc Big Boss with ambitious... ambitious. Oh, not ambitious. 15% physical resistance isn't horrible. It doesn't buff the army, but it isn't bad. Skinner. And you got more wolves. What do you have? You have a bunch of gobos. Ooh, a free super squig. Nice. We're going to have to delete some of the stuff here, though. I think we're going to head to Barak Dawa's bag. We can't guarantee that Barak Var doesn't sally out and attack us, so... Wait. What do you have? The biggest... Hello! Giants and Rogue Idols. We have an actual Savage Orc Shaman that will want to buff. Wow. I was getting disappointed with all the traits that we were seeing with these guys before. Don't get me wrong, I like the Burniest, and we will absolutely build an Orc Fire Army because the idea tickles me. It's just that so far they've been kind of mad. What do you have? Ah, we got a Burniest one as well. Oh, it's beautiful. I mean, in theory, we'll want both of them leveling up, so I guess we'll keep them around. It's just that they're so expensive. You know what, maybe we'll transfer and level one of them now. I suppose out of the Rogue Idols being super late in the game, we'll start leveling the Burniest guy up, and then we'll transfer your stuff for now. Oh, okay. This took a turn in a good way. Some of the gobos we may want to keep and upgrade. The Orc Error Boys. I mean, I did keep one Orc Error Boy unit. A moment. I kept one here, didn't I? Or did I delete the Orc? No, we kept one here. Okay, you can move up north. You have Wolf Riders, which we are going to use. Okay, this is going to get confusing. It's going to be confusing for a couple turns, and then everybody will go into the armies that they're supposed to be in, and then the confusion will, you know, abate, I hope. I guess we can get rid of the Night Gobs, because we have sufficient Night Gobs for now, though admittedly, we can eventually upgrade the Night Gobs to Squig Hoppers, although, let me just see here, we should have a Tier 3 Squig building, which allows us to build the Mangler Squigs and Squig Hoppers anyway. Which we can build at our leisure, as opposed to waiting to do it right now. You know what, fine. Let's get rid of the... Keep the Night Goblin Archers, get rid of the... Ah, screw it, no, just get rid of these guys. Alright, like so. I just want a full stack here temporarily while we're, you know, intercepting these guys. You're going to get deleted, we are going to reset you, and then we'll bring you back eventually. Reset. Plus, you also have Death from Above, which is not something we want for the Giants and other units. Alright, I think that's it. We're still losing 8.k per turn, but hopefully next turn we'll be able to either delete or consolidate more units. It just means that we'll need to fight even more in order to get everybody where they need to go. Which we're doing. We're in the process. Working on it. If push comes to shove, we can jump into the quest battle and get the 5,000 gold reward from that. Alright, and... Wait, who is this? Oh, Snagla. Yes, I forgot to move you. You're going to join the Spiders. Would it be faster to go like this than up like this? I think it would. Go. Alright, and the Spiders and the Forest Gobs are here. And we need somebody to move out here. Oh, maybe we can use them to wipe out... These guys have the one territory. No, they have two territories. And while we do want to go over there, I wonder whether we should have you deal with Barak Var with another army as well. You don't have a WAAAGH, unfortunately, but with another army to reinforce, you might be able to deal with it. There's potential. Maybe that's the way to do it. And then that'll allow us to both trade and delete the units in these armies. Yes. Alright, I think that's it, other than let's triple check for the last time. Oh, okay, wait, we got more Skavenly friends. Let's be friends, no military access, just whatever was willing, you'll just give us money. Prejudice, that's fine. We'll be friends with all the Skaven, and we'll be friends with anybody who's giving us money right now, basically. So, Red Fangs, yeah, sure, we'll be friends, we'll be confederating you anyway, like so. And non-aggression pact with Mordkin. Yeah. Alright. That looks okay, that looks okay. Clan Tree Trick still wants the defensive alliance, so we might actually do that eventually because they will give us a vision to the south of the Badlands, which we now kind of hold a decent part of, at least more than I was originally expecting to hold. And we may want that vision to see what's going on down here. Oh, you know what? We'll probably also want to send a spare hero to find WAAAGH. Admittedly, WAAAGH is not going to die, let's face it, but otherwise, alright. Let's end the turn. Oh, damn, there's a commandment available that I missed. Where is it? Not you, not you, not you. What the heck? Is that... Oh, it's this place. You can go into Camp Ruckus as well. Now, you have another Shaman's Hovel. Oh, it means we have additional Shaman capacity. Ah, that's lovely. Cool down to Little Wasp spells, and... Okay, you know what? I think we can't afford you right now, so we'll just hold off on building anything as well. Okay, maybe get rid of the spider building here. It doesn't do too much for us. And we'll deal with you after. Just swap out the spider building for a public order building. I guess we could do military structure here. Recruitment cost for Biggins and Black Orcs. You do already have the Black Orc barracks, but we need the horde. Anyway, end turn. Alright, let's see what we're at here. 9.3k. Working on it, working on it. Tactic unlocked, the Black Battalion. Eat the runts. That's for giants, which we will want to get on field as well. Now, oh, you're gonna come in and raid us, ain't ya? Glugzag, you're going to besiege Thessos. Then I guess we'll move Lug and the Looney in as well to help out. Do you cause fear or terror? No. Your charges will now cause fear and terror. They're already pretty terrifying. Also... What do we have in terms of scrap upgrades for you? Armor, yes, okay, that's an easy scrap upgrade. Yes, it's expensive scrap-wise, but we're getting plenty more scrap. We need these guys to be even less fragile, so upgrade those. And I assume that you have the same upgrade. Oh! The Regiment of Renown, by virtue of being a regular pump wagon as opposed to a spiky roller, doesn't get the additional armor. Well, that's unfortunate. What about you guys? 60 is too expensive. And you suck, so I'm not gonna... Yeah. Alrighty, you will have to hunt down. You are going to move in to reinforce. Wait. I was gonna have you recruit some giants. But then again, I suppose we can't afford them right now, and we can have another lord come onto the field... Well, unless she giggle. Phrasing, Ruinous. Yeah, but it's a decent way to do it. You know what, actually, stay here. And just stay here for a bit. And, oh, actually, you know what you can do? You can right here. This guy can't reach you anyway. And what is this? Deorable Bigaget. I am tremendously amused. Anyway, you are gonna go to here because we really need the money. And, no, stop. Okay, we can move you in. Okay, so... Here comes the confusion. Who's able to actually join this army and who's not? And who's supposed to get which stuff? Ugh, minus 10k per turn. Why did I do this? I bit off more than I could chew with this. Anyway, Goblin Big Boss, you have Backstabber, which is definitely going to another arm. I mean, I guess technically both of you are going to other armies. And then you have Skinner. I guess the Backstabber guy is going to... Wait, these guys are supposed to evolve into Sneaky Gets... Oh, or Nasty Skulkers, they're there. They're going to another army, but... Maybe we upgrade them. Alright, there we go. Now you can power them up. That means this Night Goblin War Boss, or Big Boss, can leave, because he's going to join a different type of army. And then we can pop the Stinky Legbiter into this army. And then transfer these guys out after. There we go. Blorg, you're gonna hit this place, Shipwreck. Let's see what we got here. Explore Island. And we got a little tiny army. I think we can just auto-resolve it. It's probably not worth our time. Yeah, we haven't fought a lot of Vampire Coast, but we have a WAAAGH here, and this is kind of unnecessary. We'll take the cash. For obvious reasons again. Alrighty, come on. Do we look into anything useful? Kraka, one thing, I got a giant spider. Treasury plus 8,000. Well, I don't dislike the cash, but could have used something other than that. Anyway, you're going to stay in our territorial waters, but you're going to get ready to land here. And then... I guess everybody here is going to follow you because you're all needing to trade units around. As weird as this seems now. Alright, Oeragor definitely following. You're gonna get the orc boys, and we're gonna transfer you some more shortly. Rend is obviously joining these guys as well. Huglug. Okay, wait. Let's figure this out. You're what? You're the cunningest, so you will not be leading the squig herds. You could be leading night gobs, and you're also the cunningest, aren't you? Alright, so you're gonna go here. We will put the night goblin boss into this army, which will be night goblins and trolls, but not squigs. But I guess we can have one of you lead the squig army, at least until we get another night goblin boss. The cleverest doesn't help the squigs. The quickest kinda at least helps you. Does this give the vanguard or stock to you yourself? It does not. So that doesn't help you either. Although admittedly, melee defense plus 10 on a rather fragile Night Goblin Warp Boss on that Great Cave Squig might actually not be so bad. So maybe we do Night Gob Squig Army on you. Anyway, Gorbad, your turn, buddy. Krieger Bloodflesher, how's your... Yeah, you're starting to dislike us, ain't you? The past treaties. Maybe we should fight you after all. You're also close by for the purpose of, you know, fighting. Let's go in here. Let's start raiding your territory. And there's Cardinal Stare himself. I wonder if he can sally out of the Pillar of Bones to attack us. Anyway, oh, there we go. That's a little bit better. Morglis, you're gonna go here. I forgot what you do. Oh, right, you're range, Night Goblin, and other stuff army. Also, we unlocked some new strats. Let's see, can any of them be applied here? Well, we could equip the Greatest Warlord, I guess. But it doesn't... You know what, we should save it for when the WAAAGH is over. You... Oh, I should have moved you in such a way that we could have reached Gorbad. Then we can do the... whatever the tactic was called. Alright, what about everybody else here? Okay, wait, is there any fights? Because... this is usually a bunch of admin that I would do between the episodes, but right now we kind of have to. You. And you. Here's what I would like you to do. You're going to go right here. In the Karazakarak territory. And then you are going to raid them. Like so. You are also going to do the same thing. In the Karazakarak territory. I don't think that we can win, but this can at least ameliorate some of the horrific money-making issue that we have right now. You will uncollect your income. We don't need the Goblin Camp here either. We will not upgrade you because we can't afford it. You WAAAGH. You're kind of stuck staying where you are. And while I'd love to delete some of your units, I think we can't do that right now either. You're going to continue besieging. You're fine as you are. Alright, let's see if anybody else... Yeah, we're just going to fight the Cornates. WAAAGH, stay where you are. Turg. Alright, Turg, you need to deliver these orc boys and possibly this orc shaman minus the unbreakable. Alright, so the orc shaman, which buffs trolls, yes, just to double check. Green-blooded, buffs savage orc, oh, it buffs savage orcs as well. Okay, so we'll actually need you in the savage orc army. Okay, so I know where you're going. Granted, there will be a Savage Orc Shaman already leading you, but oh, and it's upkeep production for Savage Orcs. Alright, fair enough. Savage Orc army is you. Savage Orcs and Nasty Skulkers. They'll be transferred from a different army. You're gonna move up here. You have Orc Boys, which need to be delivered to Orc Boy Man. And you have our new army of Black Orcs, which I guess should proceed up here rather than immediately declaring war upon Belagar, because you can actually overrun Doc Karaz. I think there were some more units. Okay, so you're gonna go this way. You are gonna go this way to join our armies. Oh, I'll just keep them around. You're supposed to deliver those units, but I think somebody else was supposed to deliver some stuff as well. Oh, you. And there's just one of you down here, I assume? Yeah, okay. Let's join these guys up. Or actually, they're going in different directions, aren't they? You're going to go to the Wolf Army, and you're going to go to the Error Boys Army. Alright, fine. And then Giblet. Skinna. Okay, you're going north, I think. Wait, or are you? You have what again? You have Skinna. Alright, so you need the other type of Night Gob. Not you, though you're going to go join the Spider Army. You have Feral Rage, alright, so you're gonna be deleted. Alright, fine, fair enough. Alright, I guess Skinner's going up here for now. And you, Poisoner. You know what, I'll find them, eventually. Oh, you're a Wiggler. Alright, so you're supposed to join this army anyway with the rest of the Night Gods. Alright, that sort of worked. Confusing, but worked. Yeah, like I said, it'll fix itself within a few episodes, guys. Sorry. It has to be done. Ooh, there's another island down here. The Horrible Bigogot. Okay, so you're actually supposed to join the orcs here rather than the Gobos, and technically speaking, the Great Crappa should be with the Gobos. Alright, that's what the trading of those units is for. Alright, anything else we need to do? I think not. No more confeds. We have to check out our public order here. What are we at here? -10 per turn because of the raiding at Morton's home. And, wait, raiding? No, it's just a confederation plus... Oh, the fact that you don't have the boss's tent. Fair enough. Flying Fortress, let's uncollect your income. It is what it is. We have too much public order loss right now to deal with you. River Stricus, you're being raided by this guy, so not much we can do about it. You are building what you're supposed to be building. You will obviously need to do the same. Go for the boss's tent. I wish it took 1 turn rather than 2, but I think... Well, I guess we could uncollect the income here. And build the Raiden hideout. We can't make use of it right now. Yeah, you know what, since we can't make use of it, let's not build it. We will, however, build you to get money. We should upgrade you as well. Like so. -5, and we'll need space. Okay, yeah, you know what, get rid of this building, build the public order building here instead. That's fine. Myrmidia's Coast, yes to the money. Karnos Forest, and oh, I forgot to build the money-making building here. Okay, you know what? You're gonna need to get rid of the captive spit and build another money-making building. We can hold off on... No, we can't. Heldegrad is also being raided. Wait. Huh? You're where right now? You're in Zvorak. Zvorak is part of this territory. Who's raiding this territory? Oh, nobody. Okay, never mind. I'm just stupid. That explains a lot. I guess you're gonna upgrade this then. Alright, go for it. River, whatever. Somjek. Ooh, ready for an upgrade. Expensive, but do it. We need it. And you have to keep the spider building because we have the beast layers here. Northern Badlands. Okay, so we will need money here. We are gonna go for the Raiden stashes. We should upgrade you as well. We will... demolish the Night Goblin building here because it's not needed in the main territory. We will build the Raiden stashes here, and the rest of this is fine. We still have 16,000 gold, so we're good for 1 turn. We're not gonna upgrade you. This place will need investment, but we can start at least with the cheap variants of the investment. Oh, right, and the Squig Nest. Upkeep production -20, and it's decent. I'll need to build a squig building here then. Alright, we'll build it for now, and we'll go for money, and then we'll go for Raiden stashes. And we'll keep the troll cave because of the... Wait, what's our giant river troll hag capacity? Yeah, we can build 1 more, so until we delete it, or build that giant river troll hag, and to whichever army is gonna need it. You could use a river troll hag. Yeah, you have a great shaman, but... Well, frankly, almost every army could use a river troll hag. Maybe we should just get one on the field so that we can delete the building without being concerned about it right now. Witch Doctor, Noxious's Blood Roar, Leadership Aura for enemies. It's okay. We only have 2 other orc... Well, we do have 2 other orc armies. Yeah, you know what, fine. We'll build another Witch Doctor. We'll send this to the other orc army. So that every orc lord has additional recovery and can just duel. Alright. And I think that's good. At least it has to be, because it's way too much. You're gonna build stuff. We'll see if these guys sally out. I'm willing to bet they won't, but we'll give them a shot because, well, we have to build the defensive structures. And, oh, I just realized they have a defensive structure. That's not good. Oh well, deal with it. Skip. Building upgrade, I know. And Lord not moved. Which Lord has not moved? Oh, Turg. I forgot about you. My bad. You're supposed to go this way to deliver those guys. Yeah, you know what? Maybe we could just build orc arrow boys and stuff rather than deliver them. It would be a long time to deliver them where they need to go. You could make... Huh. Could meet up with Gorbad and take some of these guys from him, though, but we could transform the... Yeah, you know what? No, we can go down here, then. There we go. Everybody's got somewhere to go. Skip low funds. I'm aware. Are you suggesting that we'll become bankrupt next turn? Is this what the game is suggesting right now? All right, maybe not. Maybe take these guys out. I don't trust it. All right, a delete and a reset. All right, let's hope that the funds aren't as low now. The Wolf Riders we're keeping, and thus some of the Gobos, including some of these. Oh, you got more Orc Air Boys and stuff. This is just a random pile of units. Anyway, skip. Kemmler is back with another war declaration. Alright, I guess it's a good idea then that we're moving these guys down here, because these gobs after Thessos will have to move north and deal with Kemmler. We knew this was coming. I didn't think that 10 turns had passed, but apparently they had. Or maybe the AI is just ignoring it, because, you know, oftentimes the AI doesn't care. So, alright. Income from writing, thanks. Okay, we're negative. We really need to fight. So, control +3. You. Can you reach the lost idol from here, Gorbad? You... Maybe. No, I don't think so. I was wondering whether you would be able to reach it, but no. And you don't have a WAAAGH, so it's not slowing you down. Meaning, we're going to... Well, we've already started raiding these guys, so I guess we're not allying with them, and it says we're suffering attrition, but that's because of the lack of cash, which is about to hopefully change. You. I think we're just gonna auto-resolve this. Let's face it, we'd win this, and we can't do a cinematic battle here, and this is the most boring kind of battle where we just obliterate the enemy from range with artillery, so we'll just take this out. And then... once Sluggin the Loony moves in, we'll auto-resolve it. Yeah, basically no damage other than these 2 units of gobs again. Huh, interesting. Alrighty, and... almost tempted to sack it, but I think we'll just occupy it. We're still holding on to the territory, and hopefully it'll be fine. Stick 'em like pigs! Oh, yes, okay, that's the one we've been waiting for. It's one of the ones we've been waiting for. Yo. Stick 'em like pigs gives melee damage reflection to all spear infantry units, and a fairly significant power-up. Though the question is, do we give this to you, or do we give this to these little guys? They're also spear infantry. I'm gonna say since these guys are gonna fight sooner, let's give... I mean, every one of you's gonna have one of these. Alright, you're gonna get that. Wait, I'd use net them up instead, because I'm stupid. Alright, you're gonna use net them up for now. My bad. Wasn't what I was intending to do, but I guess that decides as to who's getting the spear infantry thing. Stick them like pigs. Alright, there you go. Alrighty, now. Gorbad, you are in range of... okay, wait. We're gonna have to get rid of a unit. We could deliver the pump wagons elsewhere because they're high level now, though... admittedly, they're regular pump wagons, and it's not like this army is reliant on them. Alright, so here's what we'll do. You're gonna go here. You are going to get rid of one of the pump wagons. They're kind of replacing the wyverns for now, as odd as that may sound. These guys are more worthwhile in terms of being transferred to other places. Admittedly, the pump wagons are super useful, but we can deal without them, I think. For now. Alright, you are going to enter the army. You are going to go there. Then you are going to activate... not the greatest warlord... wait. Did we not have a thing that... not lead the charge? Oh, this thing's unlocked now. We'll deal with that later, though. Wait, I don't remember what the thing was called. Oh, regimental, that's the one. Upkeep production for all units by 10%. Do that, please. Alright, there we go. That helps us with the money a little bit, but alas, not enough, so we may be forced to delete stuff. Alright, you're gonna go... here, together, since you can't move forward, and get ready to hit Colonel Stair next turn. Unfortunate as it is, I just don't think that they're going to be friendly with us anymore. And we can't leave them here because they'll just attack us, and plus I was originally thinking we'd fight these guys, but well, there are other factions on the way. Let's see if we can't get any more money via any deals with anybody. Bug creepers... No, it doesn't look like it. Alright, that's fine. Blorg. You can land and raid. So, you're going to land right here and begin the raiding... I guess we'll move down to Myrmidons first, although we might want to now, you know what, go for Kassos, because you're going to move northward. Alright, raid. Like so, there we go. That somewhat fixes the money situation. You guys, raid as well. And I think between the episodes what I'll do is I'll maybe name some heroes and some other stuff, basically just so that we can... Oh, could have gone for this mysterious island. I guess we could send you that way. It's free money. And if you die, you die. It's not like we have any investments on you. Just lose this stuff. Like so. And then we'll march stance you. I'll put you here. Rend, you can also land. I can figure out how to land you. Alright, grab the mysterious island. Go for... I don't know, those who escaped, it doesn't really matter. Free money. And then you cannot land this turn, but you can do so next turn. You will land here. You will land here. Alrighty, and these guys have a lot of orcs in their territory now. You, I would like to actually move slightly forward across the bridge, I guess. I mostly just want to see if we can see a Kemmler army. I'm ready to move to Zvorak. Would be unfortunate if we lost it, but, well, it is what it is if we do. You can build pile of shiny stuff. And I was really hoping for a proper fight here. Grom, you could besiege these guys, but I don't think we're ready for it yet. Fight Backbiter. Well, I suppose if they sally out, then we can use both of these armies to take them on. A lot of longbeards and stuff, and these are untested hobgobs. The problem is the goblins won't be able to hold the line. The black orcs obviously will. Ooh, are you in range of this caravan? Just out of curiosity, that's a way to get money or not. Well, that's a crying shame.
For the wisdom of Valea.
Alright, I guess you can't do it this turn. Alright, go here. Ublug, you... Okay, I'll figure that. I'll figure those out between the turns. Assuming that there is no other battle to be had here, we need one more turn to end, and then we can hit both of these guys at the same time. Both Barakvar and Doc Karaz, I mean. Get 2 fights out of it. I'd love to get another fight going before we end, since we had so much admin, but then I don't know what to do with all of these little guys. All right, fine. Bartorg, go this way. We'll have you. All right. You're gonna join this army just temporarily. Again, I will name them all between the episodes and figure out where they need to go. And then we'll just rename them with suggested names afterwards, because there's so many right now, it's getting extraordinarily confusing. At least without me spending like 10 minutes trying to figure out who needs to go to where. You're gonna get a little bit closer, but not so close to Barakvar. Oh. Yeah, if this guy had spells or Dagobos to buff up the Forest Gob's defenses, I would have actually attacked, but right now, until you do, you're not ready for it. Gouger is fine where he is. If we end the one turn, we can fight, though. You are going to join another Orky army, which is down here. And then the Orky army will swap one of these guys for one of these to... Well, basically swap River Troll Hags around. You are supposed to join the Spiders. And you should be there next turn by the time we attack. And is that everybody? Alright, we got multiple fights to be had next turn. This is going to really make this episode run long, but I think it'll be worth it because we can at least have some fights this way. Alright, let's do... I was about to say let's do building, but I don't think we can. Unless there's some really cheap things that will give us more money. Granted, this stuff here will... You already have the boss's shack. I think not. Too risky. How much would it cost to upgrade you? 680, it's not so bad. Do it. Brovska, you need public order. Let's at least start on the boss's tent, and we're close to negative. Ooh. A little bit too close, maybe? I guess we're about to find out. Let's skip. Oh, no, it said low funds. I think that'll mean that this will turn to negative next turn. Okay, well, we can't fight anywhere. Okay, I guess we have to undo a building then. Okay, now I no longer remember where the buildings were built. We can't undo the boss's shack, though, because it's too valuable. Undo you. Alright, that should be good. End turn. Oh, thank you. Something will actually attack us. I didn't even know that these armies were nearby, but we are certainly going to enjoy the fact that they are. Rudiger Frankenwerter and Ernst Immelschilder. 2 full stacks versus our 2 full stacks, and, well, we're going to enjoy this. It's a lot of Pistoliers, considering we have basically no range. That's going to be... Oh, wow, there's a unit of grenade launchers. Okay, that has to be prioritized. Anyway, should be a fun fight. Go. Alrighty, here we go. The enemy has decided to attack us and not be cowardly about it, so that's pretty interesting in and of itself. We'll see what it is that they see in terms of this particular battle. Now, we do have a fairly major advantage, and it's the fact that the enemy army is primarily made up of range units. They are also searching for Mr. Oeragor Throat Cruncher here, but the rest of our army, or armies, are very much on the way. And it looks like they'll appear in the forest, which is actually fairly interesting. We could, if we wanted to, really try to take advantage of the forest and force the enemy to fight here. But on the other hand, if the enemy's first army is here and attempting to search for us, it is also fairly far away from its reinforcements, which they absolutely could have, and frankly should have, waited for, so that they had the critical mass, the weight of fire, to punish us with the sheer amount of range that they have. Anyway, our Orc War Boss continues to moving towards our line, and we're just about ready to move on to the battlefield. Here we go. Suddenly, the forest is full of teeth as the squigs arrive on the field, and it looks like at least a few of the enemies were foolish to get close enough with their missile infantry. First of the units of enemy handgunners going to get caught, sent flying by squigs, and devoured in this particular forest. But this is only the first of the units of squigs, and we've got 8 of them, where that came from 10 if we count the 2 extra that we can summon using our Night Goblin Big Boss. And yeah, gotta remember that the Night Goblin Big Bosses can summon squigs, so really any Night Goblin army should have at least 1 or 2. Even if it's the regular Goblin Big Bosses that buff their infantry. Anyway, here we go. Big old pile of squigs has left the forest and is now smashing into those piles of enemy range units, sending them flying, and they should be able to tear them apart. Granted, the squigs will all start rampaging rather soon, but, well, certainly worth it to knock these guys out before the enemy reinforcements arrive. The enemy Empire General has also been found by Blorg and a couple of Gobos. 1 on a little cave squig and 1 on a spider. And, dudes, just attack him. What are you doing? Oh, it's so janky. But anyway, look. Ooh, that's not good. Looks like the enemy Outriders have found one of our units of squigs and have gotten a nice volley into them, taking about 30% of their HP with those grenade launchers. Can't be having that. So we're going to send one of our goblin big bosses out to try to hunt that unit down. The rest of our army is still on the way, but is finally starting to close the distance. They're obviously nowhere near as fast moving as the squigs are with their 75 speed. And it looks like our infantry has now joined the fray and will help overrun those range units. The reinforcements of the enemies have arrived as well, but again, the enemy has traveled far too far to try to engage us, and is now in the process of being overrun before the second army, the reinforcing army, gets here. Lots of units that we hadn't yet seen in this campaign debuting in this particular battle. We get the giant river troll hag as well. We'll be seeing plenty more of these as we go, as we will be wanting that casualty or punishment rate in a lot of armies. possibly nearly every army, depending on how much casualty or punishment rate we can get out of research and such. We do have the bonus casualty or punishment rate that we can get via the global rewards, but generally speaking, the other global rewards do have a tendency to be superior, especially the one that gives us money, which we pretty clearly need at this point. Also, all of the confederations that we've done at once, if you were wondering why in this campaign I was so dead set on trading territories that we had no intention of using to other Orky factions in particular, it's because the giving of a territory to an allied faction or a friendly faction that you can confederate gives them a massive amount of additional relationship with you, because they consider it a big gift, even if it is something that they paid for, meaning we massively increased the reputation with those particular Orky factions, and thus we're always going to confederate them. Eventually. And I mean, we started doing that effectively since the start of the campaign with the Black Venom Green Forest Goblin tribe right to the north of our main territories. And it worked out pretty well, I'd say. And I guess it also makes sense that the orcs don't have a cooldown available to them on the confederations, because they can confederate off cooldown as much as they want simply by virtue of having access to the, beat-em-up style confederation. And I guess these guys just wanted to confederate rather than being beat up by Gorbad's ever-growing WAAAGH. Speaking of the WAAAGH, it looks like the first army has been destroyed, and we got goblins and additional squigs coming out of those forests and rushing the second enemy army. Everybody is engaged now, and the enemy has brought far too much range to deal with us. And the squigs really, really helped here. Just by virtue of engaging that first army, it essentially clinched the battle in our favor. Alright, it looks like only a couple more hits, and there we go. The last of the enemy units of the first enemy army are routing now. They're going to have a difficult time running away, as well as we do have sneaky gits here, or nasty skulkers rather. And those nasty skulkers will be applying those smoke bombs even as they, stab the runners in the back. And there we go. With that, the enemy army fully shatters, and the battle is completely ours. And we should be able to chase down the majority, I would say, of the units of both armies, with the exception of the pistoliers by and large. But certainly, this faction should be much, much weaker after this. Alrighty, there we go. These squigs were absolute MVPs in this particular battle, all hovering between 10 and 16k damage. Imagine your army just nonchalantly walking by the trees, searching for what they heard was some greenskins running around, and bam, hit by an absolutely massive squig herd. All your range units completely overrun and eaten. I love the little guys, and I think we know which army is going to take priority out of the 5 or 6 new armies that we now have being constructed. The squig army will be next. We'll immediately give them a couple of armored squig hoppers and just proceed onward from there. Fantastic, and worth waiting to get this fight. Absolutely fantastic. We're going to have to take the money. Again, we have no choice in the matter, as we'll need the upkeep production and the additional cash, generally speaking. So, ransom those captives. Alright, got ourselves that free potion of healing, and otherwise it looks like that was the only pile of enemies that decided to attack us this turn. With that, folks, I believe I'm going to call this episode here, and between the episodes I'm going to take a look at all of the units of heroes and figure out who has to go to which army, so we don't have to, deal with my palpable confusion over the next episode. We'll start next episode off with attacking Khorne with Gorbad and dealing along with Carnal Stare himself. It's a lot of spawn as well. Lots of meatballs to be contending with. Attacking the dwarfs of Karazakarak with these armies, probably attacking this caravan as well. I mean, it is passing near to our territories after all. Continuing our assault on the Yumis here under of the South Confederacy, and moving back towards fighting the Barrow Legion. Starting to fight all over the place now, but well, once again, Gorbad is famous since he was able to confederate so many after his performance in the Badlands, and it makes sense that his WAAAGH ever grows and pushes out to find and destroy new enemies. Anyway, more Gorbad to come, so don't forget to leave those likes and comments below, especially the threshold. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.